The first thing I unlocked in this game was the bathroom. This is what I get for softballing videos back in the day. Kitsune Den Sweet Home is the sequel to an indie H game I reviewed a very long time ago. Either way, Sweet Home is a horrifying disappointment on multiple levels. Now, for transparency's sake, part of my bad mood is because I ended up playing about 2.5 hours without the uncensoring patch installed, and me constantly going,
H content.
My bad, I guess I'm used to the idea of adult games on Steam not needing the extra level of inconvenience, but in retrospect, I also realized something. For those 2 hours, I got an unbiased, clear picture of this game, and man was it not pretty. It got to the point that what I was running away from was not the zombies, but the game itself, sprinting to the finish line so I wouldn't have to play it anymore. They learned nothing from the first Kitsune Den. In fact, I'd argue this game is less of a sequel and more of an expansion pack with a few decent ideas and a new, not necessarily good, coat of paint. Like, I don't care that you gave the main heroines newer anime style models, because not only do they animate just as poorly as the originals, not only do they have that weird needle nose problem that can only be solved with a good understanding of both 3D modeling, lighting, and shaders, not only do they have clipping problems so bad you'd think this game was made in the late 90s, much less 2021, but it also made them horribly clash with the rest of the game, both the poorly done environments and, more importantly, the zombies and NPCs, which all look like they were just poorly repurposed store-bought assets. And I'm seeing people throw around the term rough around the edges when describing this game. Bruh, I got giant worms flying around on a separate plane of existence. That isn't rough around the edges. But you know what? I get it, because I've been there. Excuses like that come from people who don't know this isn't their first game, but it isn't, and either those devs didn't care about improving the product, or they are incapable of doing so. And yes, that's pretty harsh, but I wasn't harsh with the original because I liked the concept. I liked the attempt at doing something few other H games have done, and I still do, but look where that got us. I'm not making crazy demands of this game either. I shouldn't be reloading a banana mag into a gun that clearly has a box magazine. Some of this game's problems aren't even present in the original. I don't remember my character's arm being broken to hold the basic pistol, nor do I remember getting soft locked when I tried to access the scene viewer for, the H content. Hell, even the map layouts, for all their visual improvements, feel worse than the original.
Nightmare.
With all that said, there are a few improvements and cool additions, particularly with the H content. But that makes this whole thing worse, as the good ideas are poisoned by the poor execution. For the people who don't know what Kitsune Den is, the main gimmick is that when your teammates run out of health, you can bang them to heal them, basically making the main character's balls act as a potion factory.
Fucking genius!
But it's really jank to watch the two of you get thrown around like a volleyball by zombies as the animation plays out. And back in my original video, I also criticized the minigame that plays as being distracting, since the player should be focused on, the H when H is happening. I personally stand beside my point in the original video of how it would have been better if you picked the girl up and H'd her while she held onto the gun and was shooting zombies around you or something. That's the kind of absurd shit you should be doing with this kind of premise. Sweet Home actually expands on the zombie H content though, as while enemies can take down the girls and perform acts on them, elite zombies now have a special capturing move with cool animations that I wish I could show you on YouTube, but regardless, it's hard to appreciate them when the game is literally decomposing around you. Like, the worm can grab girls and basically vor them, capturing them in his mouth before starting to run around the map, but that only makes you focus more on how physics-shattering its movement is. In a better put together game, I would be whooping and hollering about how cool this idea is. But you got the liquor equivalent fucking T-posing when attacking, and you made it sound like a fucking chicken. For once, I'm going to tap into my inner millennial and say I just can't with this game. It even has cool set pieces like a train standoff, ignoring the fact that it sends out more enemies than the player has bullets, or a gym stage where you need to attract the zombies' attention with an anime band routine to move forward.
Every lady's crazy when her daddy's not around.
No, you can't copy my homework! There is bitches!
The girls even get a fancy melee attack and new special attacks that randomly trigger, allowing them to kill groups of zombies. but they just look weird, like a modder put them in instead of the actual developers. Speaking of modding, that's where my frustration hits its peak, because almost nothing this game does isn't done better in fucking Fallout 4 with mods, which makes this game pointless. You want girls in your FPS to have anime faces but don't care about it clashing with the other non-anime elements? There's a mod for that, and not only does it cover all the females in this game, unlike a certain someone, the faces are also properly animated, through outright sorcery by the way. I have no idea how they pulled that off, allowing the characters to emote, unlike a certain someone. But you know, that one isn't as important in the middle of combat. It's not like this game would use the exact same models with the exact same problem in cutscenes and dedicated adult content where the entire point is to see the characters be animated.
あなたはあなたたちは
There are also some minigames like peeking on the girls in the bathroom,
Oh, my favorite.
and a custom hub world where you can unlock new areas or romance individual teammates by using items collected throughout the levels, an actual good improvement that is utterly wasted due to the other problems. And a new girl who's a reclusive gamer girl neat, like I needed more reason to be angry this game was poorly done. And let's talk parody, because this game isn't made in a vacuum. It's obviously trying to be a single player Left 4 Dead style game with adult content. But the moment you accept this premise, the game becomes significantly more disappointing because almost none of the finesse that went into that landmark title is present here. Elites are haphazardly thrown into random spawns with no sound cues to alert you of their presence, like how Left 4 Dead 2 did with their musical cues. Zombie hordes aren't listening at all to the noise you make and instead just kinda start running at you randomly after a amount of time. And that's all done without mentioning Left 4 Dead 2 is primarily a multiplayer title. There's a lot that needs to be done to convert that gameplay style into a single player experience. A lot more than just giving the player 3 badly programmed AI teammates to babysit. Sea of the Dead Sweet Home feels like they took all the aspects from the original game and just threw them in a pot with some new technology, pouring the resulting mess into a couple of piles they call levels. Holy fuck, this might be the most frustrating an H game has ever made me. And don't tell me that it was made by 2 or 3 people like that's an excuse. Hedon, Ultrakill, Bright Memory, all made by fewer than 5 developers, all solid products with enough polish to deserve all the praise they got. This feels like a rough alpha of what this game is meant to be, not a sellable product. Do not buy this game in its current state, not for $30, not for 30 cents. Go play Fallout 4 with mods, go play H-Doom, hell, go play the original Sea of the Dead. Anything but this.
My disappointment is immeasurable, and my day is ruined.
I'll see you next time.